I have a dream that my children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character? Come on, that's not the way Martin Luther King Jr. said it, and if he did say it that way, nobody's gonna listen. Let's talk about Uptalk. Hello friends, I'm Alex Lyon, and Communication Coach is here to help you increase your impact to lead your teams with more excellence. And you're not going to be leading your teams to more excellence through Uptalk. Uptalk is simply the sound of your voice going up at the end of a sentence or a thought instead of down where a period would be. This is a relatively controversial topic. On one side of the argument, people are saying, hey, uptalk is just a way to prevent someone from interrupting. If my tone goes up, it shows that I'm not done yet and I get to keep talking. Other people say it's invitational. It allows for that back and forth sound in a conversation. And others say, hey, it's just a way to check in, to sound a little bit more tentative to see if people are following you. Now, on the other side of the argument, people say it's a bad habit that is hurting your credibility. One thing is certain, however, it is not gender specific. It's not something that only women do. There was a recent study by Reichart and Arvaniti that showed that even though women certainly do a little bit of uptalk, so do men. In either case, it creates mostly a bad impression. An Australian study showed that 85% of managers thought that it made their people sound insecure and unsure of themselves. So if it's hurting your personal credibility, it's something you want to look at. Now the tips for this are really simple. First of all, are you an uptalker? Do some of your sentences go up at the end instead of down? You can ask a friend to listen if you can't tell, and as long as you're not a chronic uptalker, it's probably not that big of an issue. Now if you do have an issue with this, the tip is really simple. Make your sentences a little bit shorter and then make sure you come down at the end. It may take a little practice, but it's a worthwhile habit to break. I'd like to hear your tips though in the section below. What are your tips for breaking this uptalk habit, and what is your opinion on it a little more generally? Do you think it's a bad thing? Do you think it's no big deal? I'd love to hear your comments below. So thanks, God bless, and until next time, try not to use uptalk in your next conversation. Hopefully I can do this without screwing it up. On the other side of the coin, we have people who say it's just a bad habit. One thing is